Well, the good news was that there was no ghost last night, and there was no creepy lady with weird, creepy music playing, and we actually slept pretty good. So it's going to be breakfast this morning, as you would expect in a bed and breakfast, right? And Kevin is currently setting up his Royal model. What is it? A Royal P typewriter? Of course, when you bring a pre-World War II typewriter to a Victorian bed and breakfast, it fits right in with the whole theme of it, but not so much when you bring a late 60s Hermes 3000. That doesn't really work with a Victorian themed place. But as Kevin said, we're not always going to be in a Victorian place on our trip, but his typewriters certainly fit in really well with that. So last night we actually did go to the grocery store, and we had an exciting time of it, wandering the aisles, and we got a deli sandwich and some local cheese, 2 different kinds of local cheese. So we weren't actually joking about the local cheese from yesterday's video. And so here we are, ready for another day. We should be heading north to Idaho Falls today. And who is that looking over my shoulder? That's another creepy person. Another creepy picture. Darn it. But before we leave the Provo area, we're going to try to look for a couple of typewriter repair shops. We were doing a little bit of searching on the internet, and we think there might be a couple, maybe 1 or 2 shops in the Salt Lake City area that we're going to try to find and locate and stop by and visit if we can. Well, we're in downtown Provo still. We haven't left the town yet because we were going to go to an antique store and they haven't opened, and so we were going to leave a little card on their door saying, "I'm sorry you missed us, but we had a lot of money to spend." Well, we're leaving Salt Lake City, and we're leaving with 1 extra typewriter than when we arrived. And Kevin, what is that typewriter?
Well, we found in the Capital City Antique Mall a variety of typewriters to choose from, but in there they had a Royal Empress office typewriter, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
And in really good condition. Doesn't really need to be cleaned. It works fine. Needs a new ribbon. Platen is very hard, but that's to be expected from something from about 1962.
Yep.
And I wrote the check for it on the typewriter.
I'm sure that was one of the only times that those people have seen that done. The check was typed out on the same typewriter that was being purchased. That's pretty funny. So we have a little extra weight in the car now, right? What, 35, 40
yeah,
pounds?
Yeah, I can tell it's really slowed down our acceleration.
Yeah,
I mean,
we can't drive 84 miles an hour now. We have to do like 83 or something.
Yeah, I think we lost it.
Yeah. So anyway, from here we're heading up to a small town north of Salt Lake. It's in the suburbs, and we're going to pick up a couple typewriter ribbons and then head north into Idaho. All right. Well, we're just leaving here, the little typewriter shop, and we picked up a couple ribbons and had a good chat with the proprietor. They're like a office repair place. They do copiers and printers and typewriters, among other things. So anyways, it was cool. Now we're heading back to the interstate. We're going to go north into Idaho, and it's just after 2 p.m. and we'll see what happens. I don't know if we want to eat or wait until we get into Idaho to eat.
We'll see.
I think we have plenty to subsist ourselves on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not exactly wasting away to nothing at this point in my life.
No, I think we've got a few years for that.
Yeah. So anyways, back to the interstate, back north, out of Utah into Idaho. Yeehaw! We're about roughly a half an hour or so out of Idaho Falls, and I was reading some emails from you guys, and Daniel Burgoyne from Canada was mentioning that our typewriter gang should be called the Thugs, which I think
Slugs.
the Slugs, sorry, the Slugs. Yes, typewriter related. But anyways, so then Kevin and I were kind of talking about maybe an alternative acronym. So what did you come up with, Kevin?
Well, we were thinking of going along with slugs. If you're a gang, you're always you're like a thug. So that's why it came up with like a thug. So the typewriter he-men under great stress. The thugs.
Typewriter he-men under great stress, or typewriter he-men using gin and scotch. Although we haven't really had any this trip, but anyways, yeah. So we have some funny ideas, but so the scenery out there, which is a little too bright right now for you to see, is getting less verdant. Rolling hills, dry grass, but there's a lot of cultivated lands.
Yeah, we're getting into the flat tableland, farmland of Idaho Falls, where the famous potatoes are all grown.
Yes, the famous potatoes. You've heard of them. Well, we're going to be visiting the famous potatoes probably.
And the potato museum is coming up.
Oh, there's a potato museum. Yes, we have to. We probably won't be stopping there today, but we plan on going out to the Arco Desert tomorrow to visit the Experimental Breeding Reactor 1 site, museum site. So that'll be fun. That's kind of a nerdy thing for us to do, right? But,
sure, why not?
and we might even go further if we have time and go out to the Craters of the Moon location, which might be fun. So that's what we're doing. Though we need to get some dinner tonight also before we retire. Okay, see you guys.